You give me a plan and I'll follow it to a T. Stefan laid it out and we nailed it down, and it really turned out perfect.
What I like about your physique so much is the flow, the balance, the overall package was just great.
Moving forward, looking at the Olympia and stuff, is I can still use a thicker chest, bigger arms, still can improve the midsection more. Looking at Hottie's midsection, it's just a cheat code.
People are impressed by you choosing to jump in New York after already securing the Olympia spot. You're going to be compared to somebody that is already top 3.
It'll be awesome to see, man. I'm actually really, really excited for this.
On today's episode of AMA Podcast with myself and Milos, we had Martin Fitzwater on. Martin Fitzwater just came off that fresh, awesome pro win at the Detroit, and he looked amazing. Great flowing physique, made great changes from taking the year off, and some of the unique things he's implemented within his training program to keep his waist tight, and some different practices that his new coach had him do, which many of you might be surprised. So check it out.
We're also learning my body peaking wise. You know, Stefan did an incredible job for the first peak we've ever done together. That's how I need to show up to pre-judging and then improve from that look. You know, then moving forward, looking at the Olympia and stuff, is I can still use a thicker chest, still use bigger arms, still can improve the midsection more. That's something that I took really seriously over the last year, and I think that paid off drastically. You know, looking at Hottie's midsection, it's just a cheat code. Anytime you can have that deep separated abs and the serratus be all crazy detailed and stuff. So there's more work to be done, as well as I still got to mature this muscle up more and more. You know, I'm only 27, so.
I listened to the Tyler Mannion's analysis, and yeah, obviously he was super impressed. Abs, I mean, I could see you do vacuum and then abs. I think even Tyler think that you should do the classical ab shot more than. It's nice to show vacuum for a second.
Yeah.
When you have such a perfect six pack and deep abs. For me, I would probably sit on a pose a little bit longer. From early 90s, Joe Weider himself, the first one, and then all the photographers, the judges say, like, hit the pose and hold the pose. Let us appreciate the pose,
Right.
So especially those stellar poses of yours that you have, hold extra couple of seconds. You don't need to be in a hurry.
Yeah.
You have that complete look.
No, that was actually something that Tyler and I spoke about backstage, and something that he wants me to improve on going into New York is, holding some of my stronger poses longer, some minor tweaks to some poses where he likes the detail in one direction versus the other direction. So, you know how I hit my ab and thigh, not only the vacuum portion, but I also kicked my leg up and kind of bent my knee, so that it would get all the hip flexor detail out. And then I would step it down and lock my leg out and get all the cross striations. And so it's one of his advice was just lock it out. It's the cross striations are so crazy that it needs to be shown all the time. So he said, just do that. It just looks too crazy not to. So just some minor tweaks like that, that I definitely can improve on. I literally just got off the tissue work table trying to work on that too as well. We can widen me out some more and stuff. I was really bound up, and now I got a really good guy that works on Chris working on me now. So I'm going to get a bunch of sessions in with him before New York, and hopefully get my back to open up a little bit more, be able to hit those shots a little better.
You see, Jay Cutler used to do this all the time. I didn't. I was being cheap, and I don't know. Jay Cutler was doing this constantly. He would fly from Vegas to California and work on it. So I commend you for that. Look, you're at that position right now that you're putting all the eggs in the one basket, right? Maximizing everything.
Yes, sir.
So whatever can bring you, higher, you should do. People are impressed by you choosing to jump in New York after already securing the Olympia spot. You're going on the stage with Nick Walker. And I commend you for it. I think it's the greatest thing, because you're going to be compared to somebody that is already top 3. So you can already challenge him and present to the judges how you stand next to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are you confident enough you can beat
I
him?
am. I do. I think I'll give him a run for his money in some shots at least, no matter what. Some of his weaker shots are some of my stronger shots, and I think that will be really cool next to him. I know he's an incredible bodybuilder. It'll be awesome to see, man. I'm actually really, really excited for this. So not only that, but Tonio's going to be there. You know, he was number 8 in the world.
Yeah.
So that gives me a good kind of direction on where I'll be shooting at for the Olympia in that direction as well. And then also give me more time to learn my body. You know, the reason you guys were so good at peaking back in the day is because you did lots of shows and you learned what worked and what didn't work.
So this is my observation. Looking at you prior to the show, right? I thought that you were not lean enough. You know, I didn't expect you to actually show up in that good of condition. And then when I analyzed condition, and correct me, maybe I'm wrong, I think conditioning was spot on as far as dryness, fullness, and all that stuff. Maybe you could have got a little bit leaner.
I mean, I'm not far off. I do think that we can dig out a little bit more body fat and be a little. Definitely the peak was absolutely incredible. Like everything was controlled down to the and I was very impressed with that, man. You know, you give me a plan and I'll follow it to a T. And Stefan, you know, laid it out and we nailed it down and it really turned out perfect. But yeah, no, I think that I can dig a little deeper, get a little more body fat off, even be willing to, you know, sacrifice a little bit of tissue just to see how deep and dug out I can get, you know? And then realistically, then, you know, peaking at that point is like, you just have to eat enough food that you're not flat. When you're that peeled, you just have to eat enough that you're not flat and you look crazy, you know? Right now, I wake up better every day, just improving. We bumped my food, so I'm up some pounds, but the conditioning is right in that same spot. And then we'll dig back down into this again and see what we can get, you know, the details out. We talked, and I think my low back can be more dug out. And I think my upper glutes can still get more striations to come all the way into them, you know. So I want to push it in. I definitely want to be known for conditioning. So I want to see how much we can do this. You know, I want to look like a plastic robot up there.
Well, what gets me, and what I like about your physique so much is the flow, the balance. There's not a whole lot of people that are built with very little flaws or holes in their physique. Obviously, you made changes and, you know, improvements in your physique, but overall, it flows together nicely in most all poses. Where some people might be like, they run, you know, 4 out of the 7 poses and they're great, and the other ones have big holes in them, right? Where somebody's like, ooh, the rear biceps really bad, or their side chest, they're very narrow. You seem to have a very flowing physique. And I remember looking at you in second place. People are like, oh, I have him winning. I'm like, I got Martin winning because of the physique is just so much more flows together. It's not like your condition was bad by any means, as Milos said. Could you be more conditioned? Yeah, sure. But I would have never have picked you out and been like, oh, he needs to be in condition, right? It just, the overall package was just great. And in the posing, I thought the posing presentation was good too.